Water year totals in southern Oregon and northern California are being influenced significantly by El Nino this year.
Although the snow total for Mount Shasta is much higher than normal, water levels for many other locations are well below the average. Newswatch 12 meteorologist Milt Radford is live out at Tuvell Park with the final part in our weather series, Weather Worries, the Science of Hydrology.
A water year is defined as being any 12-month period, but typically it runs from one dry season until the next. A water year is used to provide information on things like stream flow or other hydrologic data. In the United States, most areas use a period from October 1st until September 30th of the following year to measure total precipitation. Here are some Northwest cities that all use the October 1st standard. Currently, Eugene and Portland are well below the average. The total in Redmond is close to average, and Seattle is a bit wetter than usual. Here in southern Oregon and northern California, it's more accurate to measure our water year from September 1st until August 30th of the following year. Medford, Klamath Falls, and Wairika are all well below average for this water year, but Mount Shasta is much higher than normal. These numbers reflect our recent strong El Nino weather pattern. Mount Shasta is so big it tends to intercept Pacific storms and creates a rain shadow for nearby communities. When the rain is still in the air, it's the concern of meteorologists, but once it hits the ground, hydrologists take over, and they use a number of measures to determine the relative dryness or wetness of an area. And locally, there's a big difference between the future value of rain versus snow.
Rain can do a good job, but it's short term. It's a few-day event, whereas snowfall, it's all winter long. We're accumulating, and then it begins to replenish as it starts to melt. So snowpack is very important to us, much more important than just a rainfall event.
National Weather Service hydrologists work to educate the public, and that includes farmers, boaters, and even school kids, as to how precipitation and runoff affects us. They also work with other government agencies.
We work with the Army Corps of Engineers. If there's a big storm coming, they want to know that so that they can release water in advance out of reservoirs. On the flip side, when there's not a storm coming, they let us know what they are releasing so that we can put that into our river models so that we can make an accurate forecast. If they start putting a lot of water out that we don't know about, our forecast is going to be way off.
Some agencies use the Palmer Drought Severity Index, or PDSI. This index measures prolonged drought or excess precipitation. Another measure is the Crop Moisture Index. The CMI measures short-term drought or water excess, especially as related to agriculture. This index can change dramatically from week to week. It's important to remember that both indices monitor general climate conditions and not isolated rain events. So, after a drier than normal winter and a wetter than normal spring, what can we expect for summer?
Starting at the coast, this summer looks pretty good. They will be fairly normal. The farther east you get, the worse the story looks. In the Medford area, river levels are going to be a little below, but not too bad. Water supply isn't going to be a huge impact here. Farther east in the Klamath Basin, the river levels are fairly low, and they are going to have water needs. For Northern California, western Siskiyou County is still hurting a little bit, but in and around Mount Shasta City, they're doing very well. North of Mount Shasta and east of Mount Shasta, they've been in that rain shadow, and they have not been able to accumulate nearly what they have needed.
Although our water year runs all the way till the end of August, by this point in the season, you pretty much have to play the hand you're dealt. Any additional rain or snow that we get over the next few months will only have a very small impact on our water year totals.